the healing power of selenite. Selenite is this incredible crystal that you might have seen. It's like almost like this magical, iridescent, milky crystal that is found in so many different shapes and forms, like many of crystals. This is a selenite tower. And why this is so magical is because it wards off negative energy and it's a natural cleansing stone. So most other crystals like bracelets or necklaces or even stones that we might put maybe like in our living space or our office space, they're going to absorb and take a lot of that negative energy that's just floating around, or even emotional energy that's floating around. And this amazing crystal helps cleanse it. I love it so much. I've always felt really connected to selenite. And when I did my Reiki master's class, look at that, it literally looks magical. It's like glowing. It was 4 years ago now. This is on my 4th year that I did my Reiki master's level, where we really dove into crystals. And it was interesting because when we first started with the crystals, I weirdly just knew about the crystals. It was like one of those things, it was like this like download, like I was a computer and I just knew all this information. And this is one of those stones that I have like everywhere. And I want to show you all the different forms. So this is a really popular one that you'll see. I love to, when I make my malas, when I am kind of showing them, I like to wrap the mala around the tower. And it just looks like, of course it's not working right now, but it just looks really beautiful, and it can like really showcase the different stones and crystals in a necklace or a piece of jewelry like that. So this is our tower, as we said. This is this lovely selenite ball. It is like a magical ball that was actually my son's, and he dropped it and it broke into 3 pieces. Can you see that? It like cracked right there into 3 pieces. And he actually glued it back together, and it's just like the vibration of this just can raise you up. So if you're struggling and having a hard time, like my daughter, we found this is a Utah raw selenite. So it's really cool to see the difference between like a finished and a polished piece of selenite and raw. This is its raw form, and the energy, I wouldn't say that it's higher, but it's nice. I like the more rough and vulnerable and raw version of it. And it's really cool. It almost looks like mica, and you can really like see all the layers in it. And where I live up in Estes Park, there's this little magical space called Dick's Rock Shop, and they literally have these like giant vats that they just fill full of them. And I mean, I think they're a great price, like $6 to $9 a pound, and depending, this one's probably like 3 pounds, 2 pounds maybe. I'm not really the best weigher of my hands. And so this is raw selenite, and like I said, my daughter, who struggles with a lot of nighttime worries, who's very in tune with energy and everything happening around her, she sleeps with this under her head. And I recommend sleeping with selenite by your bed, which I sleep with a selenite slab by my bed. And this is this lovely polished slab. If you can see, it's like flat, but you can still see all the magical. And it's rough. And you do have to be careful because selenite can kind of like splinter off. This one is actually kept it together really nicely. So this one, every night I take off all of my crystals, all of my malas, and about once a month I even put my wedding ring on here right by my bedside table. So it's clearing the energy of all of the jewelry that I wear during the day, so I'm not like putting it back on it, like reabsorbing yesterday's anger or yesterday's anxiety or overwhelm. And then I feel lighter and cleaner. This is the cleanest this has ever looked because it's always filled with all of my goodies. And I have a small obsession with malas, and I've recently started making malas, and I'm so excited, and I'm going to share more with you about my incredible malas that were inspired from my book Awaken You, From Pain to Healing, A Woman's Way of Waking Up to Her Life. Okay, and then there are selenite like wands. This is more of like an unfinished wand, but there's something so magical about holding a wand. Like if you're struggling and just holding it in your hands, like if you're just feeling like so negative or so emotional, the selenite can just help clear you. And you can almost imagine like you were Glinda the Good Witch from the Wizard of Oz, and you could just like, you could almost just like run it over your body, right? We all have this energy body. And so I am an energy healer, and that just means that I can help clear out this energy that we hold on to. And yeah, it's such a powerful practice, but selenite is like one of my go-tos. Like if you're feeling really overwhelmed in your hands, in your feet, in your pockets. I also have a bunch of these little tiny little nuggets. They're almost like mini wands, but they're rough cut wands. And these ones are nice. I have been including these in when I sell a mala necklace. I have been including them in a little baggie with the mala, this healing love. Put this in the bag, and then I include this for my customer and put this in the bag because this is going to help clear the energy, like I said, with this little love. And it's this little powerful thing. So if you're struggling, having a bad day, you can just put that in your pocket. So I thought it would be kind of fun to show you all of them. So Selenite Slab in different modalities, raw selenite. We have the magical rough cut wand, and then we have the ball. And why would you want selenite, right? Like I was saying, it's going to help remove negative energies and toxic buildups. It's going to help reshift how you're feeling, help connect you to where you're at. That's a small guy. Oh, it's getting heavy, guys. Get my extra workout in. And of course, the lovely tower. Excuse me. It was 7-11 on this recording. Such a good practice. So look at this. That is like this magical, beautiful plate, which I'll take a picture of that for you. And no, selenite is, and it's also like a really like moderately, like it's pretty inexpensive crystal that is really affordable and really effective. Ooh, you know, it's funny, because I didn't even show you. I have been wearing selenite on my neck for probably, I would say off and on for the last like 6 months. And anytime I take it off, I just feel like, oh, all over the place. And I really feel like it pushes out and protects my energy from people around me. So no matter if there's like negativity or yucky stuff happening in the world, it's like I have my own personal bubble up around me. And one thing I've learned about selenite is it's a very porous crystal, and you can get it wet a little bit, but I would not recommend being in water. I actually had a different selenite pendant, and this also has citrine, which is for the creative chakra, and which is lovely, so good in like all the creations. But so what I'm saying is it's porous, and it almost like the water just weakens it. And so if you think of porous, something porous, it's like it loses things, so it can't hold anymore. And then it almost like turns into these shards. So I just be careful with that. And anytime there's a full moon, it's so great to put your selenite under the full moon, like in a window where there is a full moon, because the full moon will help ward off all of the yucky stuff that might be absorbed into the crystal, and it will help replenish and cleanse your crystals, all of them. I like to put all of my things. So I just wanted to share my love for selenite, and I'm thinking about rebranding this channel. So it's Yoga Bliss with Shelly, and I do share yoga, which I love, and I will always share yoga, but I'm wanting to share a little bit more on my knowledge of crystals and energy work and healing and things like that. So I'm thinking, this is just me thinking out loud, and I just wanted to share that with you. So that's what I'm doing here, is I'm showing up, and I'm going to make some more videos and share more with the healing powers of crystals with you, because I think more than ever we need the healing powers of crystals, because it's something that's just like so readily available for us. We can If we're struggling, having a hard time, we can grab a crystal, hold it. We can put a mala necklace and we can wear it all day long, or a bracelet, right? Rings. This is why kids are so connected to stones. I don't know if you have kids or been around kids. My kids are always bringing stones in the house, and there's just like piles of them everywhere. It's because they have this energy to them and they make them feel good and better, because it's hard to be a kid, right? It's hard to be an adult in this world these days. So no, I love you. I am so grateful for you. And I was going to run this by you. And if any of you viewers are watching, my idea was to perhaps rename this channel as Awaken You Yoga and More. I'm not sure yet. I wanted to go perhaps maybe Awaken You Yoga and Healing, because I want to just talk all about the healing powers. Okay. I love you. I'm grateful for you, and thank you for tuning in with me. Yeah, this is fun. I'm gonna jump on and be doing more things like this. And if you haven't picked up a copy, this lovely book, everything inside of this book has literally changed my life. I'm not just trying to sell you. This book is just so good. I wrote this, Awaken You from Pain to Healing, A Woman's Way of Waking Up to Her Life. There's 21 practices that literally transformed my life inside of this book. I love it. And there's actually, it's so cool. In the very back, there's this realistic Awaken Me self-care practice morning. And there's actually a morning that you can do to help you awaken to the beautiful, bright being that you are, my darlings. I love you. I'm sending you a warm hug.